Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice for the week of August the 5th, 2021. The current challenge is as expected, Apokolips Darkseid for 1 week repeat. Required characters are Bane, Nightwing, and Wonder Woman, who are available cheaply in the store as silver, bronze, and silver characters. Apokolips Darkseid's passive is Black Racer. Basic combo has a chance of summoning the Black Racer, who causes random unique effects on his opponent. He has 1100 attack and 1400 health, and he was last available October 2020. So he's got really decent high stats. Maybe not the way we like them where it favors the damage, but it's still, the net pool is sort of still pretty good. And when he was first introduced, they were really high, I think top of class. The combo effects that are mentioned in the passive are bleeding, which is a type of damage over time which makes the character bleeding take increased damage per hit. There's cursed, which means that hits are 100% critical until the character that's affected tags out. And lifesteal, which, self-explanatory, you take health. What was interesting is he has been nerfed to a small degree. It used to be that bleed would last until tagging out. So unlike others where there's a time limit and you could rinse it if you tagged out, it used to be that it would just last indefinitely until tag out. And that's what made him really powerful. Previous update, all gone. And his special 2 has a little bit of splash damage too, I think. It's fun to use him as your special specialist with Tentu Totem Master's Death Card and lean into the splash with Fourth World Mace, especially if you can manage to trigger his combo ender curse effect, because then you'll get a really nice high damage critical special hit. We've got a fun video where we kept him big, the way he grows really large during his special 2, by making the opponent trigger Elseworld Flash's bullet time passive in the middle of Darkseid special 2, and the link is there. What's interesting is the sort of meta-analysis is that this is the 20th week in a row that the challenge characters have been following a pattern that first showed up in May of 2020. And if this current pattern holds, next week should be Arkham Knight Catwoman. This week's multiplayer reward is Alien Artifact, which becomes Mother Box. When it's maxed out, the effects are a 28% max health increase, a 30% chance to blink against special 2, and when evolved, you can have a 100% power drain chance at start of the match. Last available June 2020. So this is the multiplayer reward that we said last week would be the best case scenario. Because when it was Mother Box's turn back in December 2020, that was skipped and was replaced with Ibistic. Then when its turn in the rotation came up again in July, we got a gear that hadn't been in multiplayer, at least in the rotation, for more than 2 years. Then it was followed by last week's Arkham Origins Deadshot, which was also another multiplayer reward that had been out of the rotation for more than 2 years. So if next week is Cassandra Cain Batgirl, then there's a chance that we have a complete multiplayer reward schedule that includes everything. And in my mind, this is very much like Breakthrough, where at one point there were a large number of gold characters that were excluded for, I want to say about a year, maybe more, a long period of time before they were finally included, and since then the schedule hasn't changed. So speaking about the gear itself, at least to me, this is not really a legendary piece of gear. Now, my bias has always been towards gears that provide an offensive boost. So, the max health increase is good compared to other health increases, but it's just not my thing. So that's one ability. The 30% chance to blink against special 2. That's pretty much become useless once the Tentu Totem was released. So if anything, I'm actually, when we're playing our Justice League team with New 52 Wonder Woman, I actually look forward to facing a team with Mother Box on their first player, because you get to do special 2 a few extra times if it triggers. So New 52 Wonder Woman's teammates have a few extra bars of power because her passive lets her give power every time she does a special. It doesn't hit, Tantu Totem gives her her power back. She just generates more power for her team. The power drain is probably the most useful thing because so here's the thing, it works not against the whole opponent's team, but just against the first person. However, you don't have to have it on your first player. It could be anybody on your team. It could be somebody who you never even played during the game, and it'll take off the first the first opponent's power. It doesn't really affect us when we're facing it because the way we set up our teams, it doesn't really require our first slot card to need power. I mean, sometimes we set it up like our Flashpoint team to have it, but that's not necessary. So when you're looking at just 9 gear slots on your entire team, Mother Box really doesn't have enough to make it worth taking up an entire slot with that. In the store, we've got Character Bundle Flash TV for $24.99 Canadian. It was previously $26.99 in October when it last showed up at the same time that we had the Darkseid challenge. It's got Reverse Flash and Metahuman Flash, who are both multiplayer rewards. So, it's not an awful price, but it's not a great price. And it doesn't unlock in your store. We've also got the Arkham Knight Catwoman pack for $12.99. So this is another clue to next week's challenge. So it reinforces the idea based on our schedule that there's a good chance we're going to see Arkham Knight Catwoman next week. And if she turns out to be the character for our challenge next week, then the week after, there's a good chance it will be Blackest Night Martian Manhunter. We've also got the Alien Invasion pack and the Aquaman Celebration pack hanging out for an extra week. And our Survivor is still League of Assassins until the 11th of August. Phantom Zone is back for 2 weeks, unlike last time where it did a little funky something and it was back only for the one. Fight 62 is still broken. And we've got a weekend of double XP. Last weekend's breakthrough was Deadshot, Wonder Woman, and Static, as we expected. And so this coming weekend's is probably Zatanna, Flash, and Solomon Grundy. There's a link in the description to a thread in the Injustice Mobile subreddit from Devlin16, one of the mods, that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle. So moving on to the current glitches. Remember that every working glitch is explained in a video as part of the playlist that you can reach by clicking the eye in the top right corner of this video. Each of those videos is a tutorial on exactly how to do it. Unfortunately, we are Android only, and specifically Android 9.0 only, so we can only confirm these glitches for Android 9.0. If you're on iOS, consider helping other commenters out when you see stuff, but we have also got some information for iOS users and Android 10 and maybe Android 11 users. So we'll start, because you can just go to the playlist for all the working glitches. We start usually with the not working glitches, things that people want or things that have worked before that are no longer working. So first is always the most requested is something for power credits. And we talked about this in more detail in the previous Season 6, Episode 9 episode of our P and Q and C and A and T. The main thing is there was, up until very recently, a glitch that required 2 devices being simultaneously logged into one account. And I don't recommend that you do it, mainly because of the danger of having your account suspended. The glitch for getting repeated past multiplayer season rewards is not working. The glitch to get them early is also not working in a way that's exploitable. And now that Phantom Zone is back, there is no glitch to get through it really fast, although there's a strategy, and we've got a bunch of videos about how to really set up your team and your gears to get through the highest level crystals as fast as possible. And the glitch that used to let you get the free energy without having to watch the video, also not working. You have to sit through the video now. So for working glitches, I guess what's worth mentioning is that the challenge reset has been confirmed to be working on the current Apokolips Darkseid challenge. It is the same as a Phantom Zone reset, so it lets you play both the Phantom Zone and the challenge as much as you want at the lowest level of the challenge, and even after you've exhausted all your buy-ins for the Phantom Zone, and maybe you don't even want to use a buy-in. The thing to remember is that you just keep in mind, you're doing both at the same time. They're basically the same glitch. So if you are thinking of doing one, just make sure there's no progress in the other that you are not willing to lose. So we've got a comment that we've cut and pasted in the description from a viewer, Tanme Kakde, about which files you can move around instead of deleting, so that on Android 10 at least, you don't have to re-download more than a gig of data. And we've also cut and pasted a comment from Jonathan Yang on how to reset the challenge for iOS devices. Breakthrough glitch to let you play repeatedly, still working. The airplane mode / refund glitch is still working, good for both packs with random drops and last laugh tickets. It does, because of how you do it, meaning that you've got to be disconnected from the internet. It does not work, at least for us, on the Phantom Zone, where you require an internet connection in order to get the reward from the last crystal. Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor play and energy recharges. Again, make sure you bring your clock back to normal before you're finished, because an out of sync clock or calendar is typically what will cause events not to show up on time. So that's when people complain that the challenge isn't showing up, or the Phantom Zone isn't showing up when it's supposed to. That's because you've been messing with the clock and you didn't actually bring it back when you were supposed to. And that's it. It leaves us with the one not working glitch, but also not working glitch. It's that one that's in limbo, which is the promotion glitch. The conditions have not been around for more than 2 years now. And when they're around, it's never failed us. But because the conditions haven't been there, it's really sort of not useful, but it hasn't actually failed yet. So it's going to stay on that list until it's failed us once, when the correct conditions were around. And that's it. So we have a Patreon, and we like to thank our patrons there at the end of each of our regular weekly videos. And that is a big thank you to Victor Gomez, Consul Peasant, and Edwoon at the top tier last word, Sinemac and Mohammed Albshaiti at the Your Message Here tier, Shawn Farrell, Daniel Simonson, Aaron Maule, Michael DeVries, Brandon C., Irvin Ruiz, and Eddydoo at the credited level, and Chris Wolff, Scarlet, Dani, Awesomegamer 241, Pavu RS, Gavin, Mallott, and Isfar E at the gratitude level. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Komoda.